Son, you know I had to start with a little camera on today.
I know you did. I see Dr. Dizzle out there tweeting this morning. I know he's going to be all over that little wager we talked about. I'm going to get Dr. Dizzle a half Ram, half Raiders jersey.
Yes. Oh, my God, guys. All right, so we got a lot to talk about today, including a bunch of clowning that obviously we're having a good time doing. But, Dream, we got to talk about the NCAA football playoffs, brother.
Let's get into it.
We got to talk about it because they got the announcement tonight at 7 o'clock on ESPN, and I am definitely
I love you're so up for that.
I love it.
And it keeps changing now. And like I said, you just got to fall back and let this thing play its way out. But you keep going crazy about this.
Because I'm all into it, man.
All right.
I got futures for days. I got mad stuff going on, and I can't wait to show you at the end what I ended up doing, man. So, all right, so here is Hatter's top 12. Okay, here's how I look at it. Here's how
top 12.
I got my top 12, man. You know what? They should get my ass up there. Telling you, because I've been watching college football for days now.
Well, maybe if you would stop back in Florida.
Well, that's why Florida is all the way near the bottom this time. All right, as far as my top 12 are concerned. So
go ahead,
I'm taking a look at this, and here are my top 4. And then I'll go into the rest of the other 8 that I'm picking. So right now I got Clemson number 1, obviously undefeated. Okay, running through everybody, doing their thing. Obviously they got a big game coming up versus. They got South Carolina this week. Obviously they're gonna they should definitely win that game, especially that South Carolina lost to an FCS team last week.
Citadel,
absolutely brutal.
Smackdown,
absolutely brutal. So. Let's see. So we got that going on.
And by the way, your boy told you South Carolina was going to be awful week 1 of the football season.
Yes, you did, brother. I got to give it to you on that. Absolutely. I got Alabama number 2. Alabama with that front 4 and that defense, absolutely outstanding. Obviously, they had pretty much a scrimmage game, if you want to call it that, versus their FCS team this year. So, hey, that is what it is. Number 3, Dream, I got Iowa. Nasty Iowa.
I love they got to be nasty.
Nasty Iowa. I got number 3, Nasty Iowa. And number 4, I have the Oklahoma Sooners. What do you think of the Oklahoma Sooners after their 1-point win versus TCU?
I'm in agreement with that because you had other teams lose. So I'm in agreement with Oklahoma being in that spot. I like them more than Notre Dame. I don't like Notre Dame in the 4th spot. I'm not liking Notre Dame.
All right. Well, you'll hear where I put Notre Dame here.
Okay.
All right. So you got Oklahoma. Obviously, their 1-point win was not as impressive as it should have been, but you guys got to remember something, man. I know TCU had a backup quarterback, but Oklahoma, until they had their backup quarterback, was absolutely killing TCU. And then Baker Mayfield obviously took the blow to the head and exited the game in the second half, did not come in. And their backup there, I forgot who it is. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Trevor. I don't know off the top of my head. Guys, if you have that information, Oklahoma's backup, I want to say it's Trevor Knight. Could be wrong. But anyway, for the most part, I think Oklahoma, if they win Bedlam this week, they're obviously in my humble opinion. Now, number 5, I've got Sparty, Michigan State, after knocking off the Ohio State University. Dream, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't have them at number 5. And and you actually turned me on to not liking them as much as I originally liked them because you turned me on to their offense, and I don't really like their offense, and their defense to me is a little bit overrated. And I know everybody's going crazy because they beat Ohio State, but Ohio State stunk all season.
I know.
So, as far as I'm concerned, Ohio State was highly overrated going into that game in the first place. So my problem with that, I got to be honest with you. You know what I do, and you might not like this. I moved Baylor up.
All right. Well, we'll continue to talk about it here.
Okay.
So we got, I got Michigan State there because with the exception of a bad call versus Nebraska, they're undefeated. They had a bad call versus Nebraska where the receiver went out of bounds and came back in, and they said he was pushed out when he clearly wasn't. So
True.
That's where I have them at number 5. Number 6, I moved Notre Dame down to number 6.
Okay.
I moved them down to number 6 because obviously they did beat BC, but it was an ugly win, Dream. 5 turnovers in that game.
Horrible.
Awful. They look bad. And they are a 3.5-point underdog versus Stanford this week. 3.5-point underdog, man. So you know what? They got to go into Stanford to try to win there. I've got North Carolina number 7. I think North Carolina, if they can knock off Clemson, they've got an argument. The only issue is that their bad performance versus South Carolina in the first week of the season is going to hurt them.
And you're just making up your own list.
I am making up my own list. It is Trevor Knight. Thank you, Lucas Wilbanks, for giving me that information.
I know why you're not getting on the show.
All right.
You got Notre Dame. Wait, look at their schedule, son. Come on,
I got Baylor number 8. I've got The Ohio State University number 9. I've got Michigan number 10. I've got Florida number 11 after their pitiful performance. And I've got Navy number 12.